guys, my name is Rage and we are back today with an exciting Dark Dimension 4 video guide and playthrough here. In today's video, I'm going to go through and play the node for you guys, but let me show you first the 5 characters I'm going to utilize as well, and then we'll dive right into the gameplay. So if you guys may or may not have checked out my preparation video, I've already outlined why I'm bringing these 5 characters at the top, but I'll just quickly go through each screen so that way you can see the ability levels, upgrades. As you can see, Mr. Sinister, T4s on both his ultimate as well as passive, and the level 5 ISO 8 healer on him to provide sustainability and healing. Next, we got Symbiote Spider-Man, and really leveraged his T4s here on his basic, his ultimate, as well as his passive, as well as the level 5 ISO 8 Raider, just to apply that vulnerability. And you're going to see that it's going to synergize extremely well with Ghost Striker. Next, we got Emma Frost here, the T4s on both for special and ultimate to maximize value. As well, she's going to provide additional healing with the level 5 ISO 8 healer as well. Next, we got Ghost here, level 4 Striker actually. Didn't push it all the way yet for the video, but that's quite alright. As well, you can see the T4 was also on her Quantum Explosion Ultimate, just maximizing damage overall. Last but not least here, Black Widow. Actually, no T4s on her abilities. She operates quite well without it. Really because her abilities shine truly when she's an Avengers team, so that's why we didn't really take advantage of the T4s, but you can see with her as well, a level 4 ISO 8 Skirmisher to apply the vulnerability, really giving Ghost that extra room to kind of work with in leveraging her Striker. So those are the 5 characters here. Let's dive now right into the gameplay.
Starting off here, you can see we're looking at node 1, and what I'm actually going to do is I am actually going to switch my Symbiote Spider-Man and Black Widow, and because the placement is very important, you guys, keep in mind when Black Widow's invisible, chain attacks, anybody hitting Ghost won't actually attack Black Widow if she's invis, so it stops the attacks right there. And on top of that, I do like Symbiote Spider-Man being on the corners, because I find that generally with characters on the corners such as Ghost and Symbiote Spider-Man, they get attacked less than the characters in the middle. So Mr. Sinister's our most tankiest, that's why I don't mind having him in the center. So that's just the reason of why I have my guys laid out the way they do. And consistent with my previous guides for reference, I will be using Dark Dimension 4 guide that's prepared by Dutch Rudder. I just find that he's one of the best content creators out there, especially when we're going through the Dark Dimension guides. And he lays out which enemies to take out, how many characters that can potentially be taken down before the next wave spawns. So I think it's absolutely huge. And the one thing you're going to see different in Dark Dimension 4, you guys, as you can see here, is that there's going to be characters such as Mercenary, Lieutenant, always being able to perform his ability. You can see Killmonger's also going to have that opportunity as well. So we got to be mindful of that now in this new Dark Dimension mode. Starting off here, one of the key reasons I did bring Black Widow is to provide that speed up for our team. So you can see right in the beginning here, the mindful targets that we got to be wary of is going to be Lieutenant, Taskmaster, and Killmonger. So personally, my recommendation is to first, I took away Taskmaster's offense up by using Ghost special, but then who we want to actually take down is going to be Lieutenant as well as Torch, as they do have a lot of damage on their side. And on top of that, because of the fact that we brought on board Mr. Sinister, you bet we're going to capitalize on his ability to be able to clone, and the priority target to clone is going to be Invisible Woman in this initial wave. So it is nice that we have that actually here for us to be able to take advantage of. So you can see right from the beginning, I am going to go ahead and actually target Lieutenant, and I will clone Invisible Woman. Reason being is because she's got the defense up, she's got a cleanse as well as an offense down, so we just got to be very mindful of that. You can see how much damage Namor and the Killmonger does, but again, the priority targets, we got to take down the supporting cast first. So you can see right from the beginning, we do actually take up a lot of damage, but now that we have Invisible Woman on our side, we're going to use her special to actually apply the defense up and cleanse, and we just got to be mindful of the weaker guys on our team. Black Widow is quite squishy. I don't have her as powerful as I'd like, but again, I'm going to put her basic now on Lieutenant, so now I can actually capitalize on using Ghost as Striker here, and what he can do is just take away the speed meter, and this really helps control the targets, right? Another key reason I brought on Symbiote Spider-Man, again, as mentioned earlier, was because of his stun. So we're going to take full advantage of that. He also has a nice defense down for additional damage. And then on top of that, I do have Emma Froster to apply blind whenever I see an enemy getting his turn. So I'm applying it on Killmonger because I just don't want him being able to inflict this high damage. And Same with Taskmaster. Those two are the ones to be kind of mindful of, especially with Taskmaster being able to stun, as you can see right there. But that's a key reason why I brought Black Widow as well. She's also going to buy time with her stun, so we're just going to be able to use that right here to freeze up Lieutenant. And what you're going to see later on is my Ghost being able to use her ultimate and really extend those negative conditions, such as the blind, such as the defense down, and as well as stun if you can time it just right. So with Invisible Woman now on our team, I do like the fact that she has the offense down as well and gives us a little bit of a barrier. And you can see now I've noticed that there's a lot of negative conditions being active, so I activate Ghost's ultimate there, apply that extra extension of the turn. So that's why this is the team I brought on board. So I am going to take out some footage here for you guys just to kind of keep the videos at a very shorter length, but you're going to see who I target going forward here. Again, I would focus on taking down Lieutenant first, just because he's going to provide those benefits to the team, like the speed up and offense. And now with him down, the next target I would recommend taking down is damage dealers, right? So Human Torch is one I don't like. Killmonger I don't like, as well as Taskmaster. So, I mean, I really would get a sense, if I were you guys, just kind of get a sense of, you know, who is weaker on the team that you can actually aim for. I'm always thinking about spreading negative conditions as well. So for me, in my wave, I am actually going to focus on Torch, just due to this fact that he has a lot of offensive abilities and the fact that he can have a really powerful explosion attack that can take us out. So that's why I want to aim for him first. Take advantage of your stunners if you got them on the team. And you can see with Ghost, again, if I see an opportunity where there's blind and stun, you bet I'm going to capitalize on her abilities. And this wave is actually really, really good because this initial node in Dark Dimension 4, you're going to find is quite reasonable. And another key reason I do like Symbiote Spider-Man is the fact that he actually has a special that can also extend negative conditions as well. So it just complements the entire build altogether, especially if Ghost does it as well. And on top of that, again, every time you get a chance with Mr. Sinister, make sure you clone that Invisible Woman, because it's just going to provide some immense protection. With both Torch as well as Lieutenant now down, the next two targets we want to aim for is just essentially the damage dealers. Killmonger is weaker on my side here, so I'm going to target him as well as Taskmaster. And just keep continually building that barrier, as you can see. And if you can stockpile the Invisible Women's, it's absolutely, absolutely huge. And again, another nice reason with Ghost is the fact that she has that turn meter reduction on the enemy. So whenever you get a chance to see if an enemy's coming up, just take full advantage, prevent them from taking a turn. And it almost, to me, is like another stunner on our team, even though she doesn't stun. By taking away their turn meter, if they never get a chance to attack, you know, to me, it has the same potency and effect. And the nice thing about these Dark Dimension 4 nodes that you'll see is that, you know, we're going to get a lot of times where you have to just wipe out the entire wave before the next wave comes. So in this case, it does apply. We can now take our time, build up our energy, finish off Namor, and then Invisible Woman. And at the same time, again, if you guys get another chance to clone another one before the next wave, absolutely take advantage. Going ahead here now and just finishing on Invisible Woman, it is going to prompt the next wave. And you can see with this wave, Falcon is actually going to perform his special now, along with Vulture performing special. So you got to just be mindful of the characters that can keep performing their abilities, as well as Shocker being able to utilize both special and ultimate. And in this case, similar to my previous Dark Dimension guides, you know, one of those priority targets we always want to keep in mind is Falcon, because he has that speed up, and we already got confirmation that he's going to keep using his special. So he's going to be the one we want to target. He's going to be the one that we want to stun, and when we get a chance to do so, extend the stun if you can. Again, taking full advantage of my abilities here with Black Widow, applying that stun, and again, having that excess in protection with Invisible Woman is just huge. Make sure you just use the cleanse when you can, if it can apply the defense up. And then now we will resume our attack on Falcon, while keeping in mind Shocker and Vulture having those repetitive abilities as well. We go ahead now and just finish off Falcon. In my opinion, you just got to take a look at the surroundings and see who is weak here. But keep in mind, following the Dutch Riders guide, the next wave actually does spawn after taking down another enemy here. So just keep that in mind. You only take out 2 from this wave, and it does actually spawn the next wave, including 2 Iron Mans as well as a Vision. So as you can see here, we opted to take down Rescue just due to her protection and her capabilities. But again, with Shocker now stunned and Vulture having the other opportunity to use his abilities, those are the 2, in my opinion, that we should target for. The Iron Mans are the ones to be kind of mindful of as well, because they do have a lot of damage, especially in the Dark Dimension nodes. But again, we want to focus on the characters that can use repetitive abilities, especially if it's someone like Vulture that has the turn reduction on our end. And when you do get another chance with Mr. Sinister, you can see I actually cloned Falcon, so I took full advantage of that. Falcon's going to give us the speed up and complement our team, and hopefully you're able to clone a couple of Invisible Women on your team to kind of soak up damage. But the next target here is going to be Vulture, as I don't like the fact that he can manipulate our turn. And now this is a great opportunity when you see all these negative conditions. This is why Ghost gets so much value by applying that health percentage based damage and extending negative conditions. You know, I just can't say enough good things about Ghost and the amount of value she can add. Symbiote Spider-Man once again with the stun, and now we only got 6 enemies left, and they're all pretty squishy guys too. Again, with Invisible Woman clearing the negatives on our team, we're in a really great position for success. Honestly speaking, at this point, it's really just being able to finish off whoever's weak. And keep in mind, as soon as you get down to 3 targets left, it's pretty smooth sailing on this node, especially because it's the first one in Dark Dimension 4, but very reasonable in my opinion. These guys don't hit too hard. It was just that initial wave that you kind of have to shoulder, and it took me a few tries because Black Widow did die a couple times, but the moment you get Invisible Woman on your team is really, really key. Being able to time your stuns and really kind of just keeping them stunned, blinded, or offense down is really, really huge. So you can see just a lot of negative conditions when you have that opportunity to do so, and just making sure you extend them with Ghost's abilities. For me, I got lucky because of it having a Symbiote Spider-Man as well in this initial stage of Dark Dimension 4. And keep in mind as well, as we progress now to the last enemy or the last 2 enemies, just make sure you're not using any of the abilities, because remember, the energy that's used does carry forward into the next node. So we want to be able to just basic, not use anything. Go ahead though for your clones to actually utilize their abilities, such as Invisible Woman and the Falcon, because they're not going to be coming into the next node with us. So overall, you guys, hope you're able to get value from this guide and playthrough for the first node. So far, so good. I've heard only good things about Dark Dimension 4 with the exception of the city nodes, but as you can see here, so far I do believe in many ways this was easier than the start of Dark Dimension 3, especially the progression here. I felt this was quite reasonable, especially if you have a great character synergy. So overall, I'm just going to show you guys here. Yep, it was the 1 attempt here, so not too much, 10.97 million damage. And again, shout out to Dutch Rudder. His guide was really, really immense. And just for my own tracking records, just to give you guys a sense of how powerful I am, you can see here, days logged in was 516. Again, I'm 100% free to play, but I was just very smart with my resources. I've always capitalized on just maximizing the efficiency and minimizing the resource usage. And overall, hope this video was able to help you guys. On to the next one, and thank you. I'll see you in the next one.